We talk about max profit a lot. Like almost every day, we talk about max profit. So we all have a baseline understanding of what max profit is. Max profit is your exit, right? So max profit equals your exit, or not necessarily exit, but your execution, right? Your execution of your exit. So what that means is right here on this move, if you were to get into sells after it crosses here, and you would think we're retracing, you just do a fib from the top of here to here. Well, this is max profit, right? And like, well, now because it's definitely crossed over the 50, it's crossed over the 61.8. We're definitely coming down to max profit. Well, if it comes down here to this profit line, then what do we do? What do we do at max profit? And I'm going to ask that as a question to the group. What are the things that we do at max profit all the time? And you guys have to help me here because my brain's not working yet. I'll let you know. I'll let you guys know when my brain starts working. Okay, Joseph, secure. We do something. Eagle, like I don't know. I've never experienced it. What's max profit? So when we get to max profit, that's our execution. Before you even get to max profit, you should have an understanding of what you're going to do, right? And it's kind of like a little bit of what we were talking about with Joel in our trading session, our live trading session, that if the market is going to continue, it will come down here and touch this point. If the market is not likely to continue, it may wick or it may turn. So it's an area. It's not it's an area of where max profit could be, right? And so if it comes down here, this is our max profit line. If it comes down here and doesn't touch, comes all the way down to here and wick hits this wick and bounces and crosses above here, this becomes a reversal point where this is max profit. This is our reversal point. And if the market is going to come down to here, to the next max profit area, if we're going to have continuation, it will come down and touch this max profit line. So, in essence, the market, when you see it get to your max profit area, it's either going to do one of two things. It's either going to have continuation or it's going to reverse. That's it. That's why it's called max profit, is because we believe that it's most likely going to reverse here. But we also bring in our prove me wrong trade and saying, well, I think you're going to reverse here. So go ahead, market, and have continuation, right? As long as my trade is secure. Now, with a reversal point, if the market comes down here and fails to hit that max profit, it will reverse. And if it crosses this, well, it's going to come to the 50 of this, which is right about here, the 50, right? And this becomes the reversal point, or the nadir or the apex or whatever, right? It becomes, that's the turning point, not the reversal point, the turning point. So again, going back to the conversation, I guess we need to add in that we have a max profit, we have a reversal point, and we have a turning point. And this turning point is your apex or your nadir or whatever that is, right? So we have these three, and that's perfect, keeping along with the 3 and 50. We have these three things that we want to look for when it comes to max profit. Are we going to get max profit? Is it going to get continuation? If it runs from that, where does it run to the reversal point? And then does that reversal point create a turning point where max profit was, right? Is the trajectory of the market turning, right? So we have this example right here where it ran up and up and up. And this, you know what, instead of me teaching, I'm going to ask you guys to draw on your chart if you don't mind. So it's easy to see now that on this move up, when this is all it's done, the move up all day long. So it's hard to see. Let's see if we can see this. It's really hard. This is a hard one to see because on the 1 minute chart, we're beyond this point. So let's move out to the 5 and see if we can see it a little better. Right. So right here. So that's a little bit better to see. This was max profit probably when it came up to this area right here, right? So this is max profit for this trade. Once it crossed here, it comes up and this is max profit. So if that's max profit, show me where the reversal point is on this trade setup. Where's the reversal point here before it gets there? So if you don't have the luxury of hindsight, where's that reversal point? Go ahead and draw on there. Come on, guys. You guys got to draw. So I'm talking about this move right here. So it shoots up. We know as we widen out that this was max profit right here. Can't flip it fast enough. Man, I'm struggling, guys. Sorry. That this was max profit. This is the max profit line on the 5 minute chart. So where's that reversal point? Nick's the only one that can draw. So annotations is like in the bottom left hand, there's a little circle that looks like a pin. There you go. So if the market is moving up, it's crossed this, right? So it crossed that. So we're like, okay, where's the next area that's going to have a bounce point or max profit, right? So max profit for this up trade is right here. So if it's going to turn, where's our confirmation that it's a reversal point? So up, I'm going to give you guys a clue. It's going to be up here in this area. So it's going to be, yeah, thanks. It's going to be in this area. So there it is. It's in this area. So the reversal point comes in to play. It's kind of like the ride the wave. Your wave is over when this body of this candle closes lower than here. So this is your reversal point. That does not mean that this is the apex. A reversal point and an apex are two different things. It could be the same, but it's not necessarily always. All this means is that this is where, if I'm secured my trades, this is where I want to secure my trades, is at the reversal point. And I'm talking about, I'm securing because I haven't hit goal. I'm securing to protect my trades. Because if the market does come down here and hits this point, I want to be out because that's a good reversal signal for it to come down to the 50. I want to be out. So I want to take my money here, whether that's 1 money or 2 money. I want to take my money right here at this reversal point. Because if it comes down all the way to the 50, I may be at a loss here. I don't want to. I'd rather take my profit here at this reversal point. But this does not become the apex until when? When does this become the apex? And we know that this reversal point is going to have continuation beyond when just draw. I'm giving it the answer. So get just draw on the chart. When does this point become, when do we receive confirmation that this point is the apex? Right here. Okay, Travis, why is that? You're right. Travis is right, but why? The question is why.
My opinion is because it's crossed that 50% point.
Yep. Because it's crossed the 50% point, right? And we don't know what the action is here. We don't know what the action is going to be here, like if it's going to shoot straight down or shoot down, go up. But we do know that it's at least going to be going to the 61.8. And if it does that and crosses that, there's a good chance it's going to go to the 100%, right? So this becomes the apex on the other side of that 50 right there, right? But it could bounce and come back and have continuation. That's why this reversal point right here is not confirmation of the apex, right? So let's do this again with the real chart, with the real where price is at now. So where is price now? What is price at this moment? Where is it at? So let's for kicks and giggles, let's say we got into sells right here off this pullback. We got into a sell, it blew past here, and we're enjoying the ride down. So if we're in sells, where are we at in market structure right now? Marilyn got it. Travis got it with a question mark. We are in a max profit area. This area right here is max profit. And particularly because of how it got here, lends me to believe that we're probably not going to have continuation in a straight line. It's probably going to pull back and do one of these jobs. So if we have profit on the table right here, where do we want to secure? Again, we're in sells. Where would we want to secure our sell trades for the reversal point? So that basically, if it does go back against us, there you go. Good job, Marilyn. It's right here. Because if the market comes up and closes above this line, it's going the other way. It's going to pull back the other way, right? Because you also have this. Oh, gosh. You have this line right here to contend with, right? So, and you could probably draw it like that too if you wanted to draw underneath this right here. But you have this channel right here that if the market is going to reverse, this is a good place for it to bounce because it's a max profit area. And like we just talked about, it doesn't have to touch this. It doesn't have to touch this. If it's going to reverse, it's going to do that in this area. And so you have your secure trade here. The only time I would tighten it closer is if this is goal for you. If this is goal for you, then you tighten it. But we're not talking about goal secure, right? So if this comes down and it closes above here, you want to be out. Just take your profit, look for another opportunity to get in if you still feel like sells are the direction. Like we haven't changed because we haven't hit an apex. Now, so if this is our reversal point trigger, we get out and then it comes back up. We get back in because we feel like it's still in the downward trend. Where's the apex come into play? Where is the apex off this, or the nadir off of this down move, right? Where is it most likely going to come in the market? And they're going to get a reversal point, or that not reversal, but the nadir or the apex. Where's that going to come in? Where's it likely to happen? Why is that there, Joseph? You're right, but why? Why is he right?
That's the break of the structure.
Yep, it's the break of the structure, not necessarily the next support. It could be the next support, and it could align with the next support, but it's the break of the structure. That's the most important thing. It's the break of the structure. That if it's going to have continuation, it will break this structure. So it's a really good place for it to bounce and move up. Because again, the larger time frame says to be in buys. So this is a really, really good place in this area to be hunting for the turn. So if I'm fresh into the market and it comes down into this area, I'm probably putting on buys because I'm anticipating the turn. That's my plan A. My plan B becomes if it crosses here and it breaks the structure, then my plan B is to get out and flip into sells, not top gunning, just bringing my break even down, get it out, break even, and then start my selling because it's the break of the structure, right? So what's the difference between a reversal point and an apex?
My guess is an apex is the actual structure, but the
Yep.
reversal is the price action movement. I don't know if that's in the ballpark.
You're absolutely right. A reversal point can still be within the trend or the channel or whatever, where the apex or the nadir will be the change in structure, right? Will be a change in structure event where it's not likely to have to happen. So when we're talking about max profit, this is something that I've incorporated in my trading this year heavily with the adaption that we brought in the early, mid, and late game trading. I love staying in early game. Like that's my preferred way to trade. If I can stay in early game and get goal, to me, that's a good session, right? And so if I'm buying here, let's just say that let's drop down to the 1 minute and see the action a little better. If I'm buying off of this bounce right here, because I say, okay, it broke here, that it broke here, let me buy. Now I'm like, this is max profit for my buys because if it closes above that, it breaks structure. So if this is max profit, where am I securing my buys if I got into buys here? Where's my secure so that I'm on the other side of a reversal point, meaning that the market has to cross it before I get out of my buys? Where do I want to get out? Where do I want to secure my trades? Anybody? Thank you for being brave, Marilyn. But you're wrong. You're so wrong. I'm just kidding.
So,
Now you're never.
David,
I'm
if it
never going to
doesn't
do
cross,
that again. What's that?
if it doesn't cross max profit, would you turn into sell?
And would I turn into salt?
Sells. If it doesn't cross max profit,
Like what?
right there, because if it doesn't cross this, where max profit is, if it starts coming down, would you turn into sells? Would you take sells as a
No, no, not necessarily, because this is like I said, this could be the bounce point. It's the bounce area right here, right?
Okay,
Um, and if it does, yes, if it doesn't, then probably it could. But what I'm saying is that if I'm in buys, and then let me explain a little bit better, or let me answer that question because it's scenario based. It really is. And then this particular scenario, if I'm buying right here or buying or building into the turn and it gets that turn, well, my max profit is here because that's where structure is. Did you see that? But my reversal point is where I'm securing my trades is right here below the body of these candles and this candle, because if it's going to turn and cross this, I want to be out because this is a good chance for it to come back and test this again.
okay,
But just like max profit, now I'm like, okay, go ahead, prove me wrong. Now I'm securing right here, or I'm probably securing here, definitely securing here because I'm in a PMW now. I do not believe that this trade right here has that much life left in it any longer. So I'm starting to tighten up my secure because I believe that at any point it's going to come and reverse on me. But I maximized my profit gain by two things. One, by not having a take profit here, right? Or wherever that was, max profit was right here. By not just setting a take profit there and enjoying the benefit of the pump up, right? And then securing it right there. So this is I guess coming back to what I want to talk about, really the biggest point that I see a lot of traders doing is that they don't bring their secure trade up to this point. They'll leave it here, and because they're like, well, I want to see if this is the apex or the nadir, and I want to see if we're going to run up. Well, there's nothing in this market structure that has said that this is it. It could be, but there's nothing that says that, no confirmation that has said this is the river, this is where it's going to go, and it's going to go all the way up to here. Nothing has said that. And so what'll happen is they'll secure their trade here, but their break even will also be here because they started to build in here, probably here, right? They started to buy here at the 50, and then it goes against them. They'll add a few trades on, get their break even here, and then they will wait, and it'll come back, and it comes back and has continuation all the way down to here. So to go ahead if you had a question.
so if it, okay, that's a really good point. So if it bloops up, comes back and doesn't cross the structure of that downtrend, but goes back, then the top's in play. Then
Correct.
that's confirmation of it's not coming down anymore.
Correct. It has to cross where for that to happen, Joseph? For that confirmation.
Well, it would have to cross here, or I can't
Exactly.
draw it.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're the same as me. It has to cross, basically has to cross
There.
this right here,
Right.
right? Because that's structure. So to me, this is just a little quick money grab, and taking what the market gives me is, if I start buying, like I told Joel in our last session, I'd probably be starting my buys here, right here. So I'm buying, 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 get the turn, right? I probably, the turn's happening so fast, I add back, I add here, I buy here, I add here off that wick, and then I shoot up, and here's max profit for me, and I secure here. This is my secure trade. And I love this trade setup because I just got in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades it allowed me to get 6 trades in, and I'm secure right here. My break even is probably here. And I'll go ahead and take that at my secure trade, and I'll probably be like 0.10 or more and say, well, that was a good setup. I'm almost halfway towards my goal. Right. And that I'm just taking what the market's given me. But if it fails to get me out and has continuation, well, here might be goal for me. Right. So that's why I secure here. But the challenge is to make sure your break even is here and not here. That's the difficult part for everybody, is because they will buy, they'll start buying here, then they'll put some more on, then they'll buy here, then they'll put some more on, they'll buy here, and they start to willy-nilly buy. And if you do that, then you can't afford or you can't enjoy the luxury of these type of moves at the, which is securing it. It would have knocked me out right there, but that's okay. Now I'm out. I got my profit. Now I'm thinking, okay, you knocked me out with a wick, which is the worst thing. Don't do that, market, but it does. I would rather have you knock me out with a body, because that gives me knocks me out and confirmation that we're moving down. But if I was trading this right now, I'd say we're still within structure. It rejected that, so I'm probably going to get into sells off of this right now. And if I'm in a sell right now, where's max profit for that sell? Just knocked me out my buys for profit here. Now I'm in sells. Where's max profit? Okay. Joseph said that's max profit. Would everybody agree, disagree? Cliff says there. This is a little bit more tricky, right? I'll tell you that there's secure points, definitely where you guys are at. You could secure it here, or you could secure it here. But if this market structure, if it comes down and crosses this, then would we not assume that it's going to break this right here? Failure to cross this and coming back up and closing above this is this into the apex or nadir, right? So here I'm watching this with close intent. Are you going to cross this, or are you going to cross this? Now I'm in sells because I'm playing this channel, and I'm probably only in one sell, so it really doesn't matter to me. Again, plan A, plan B, right? But I'm watching this with intent by saying, if you close above this, we're probably moving up, and this is max. This becomes max profit. If you close below here, well, I would anticipate a break here down to here, and this becomes max profit. Do you see that? Any questions on that? No questions. We're done. Everybody is learned. You guys are all smarter because, or you're either smarter or dumber because you listen to this. Sorry, I cannot give you guys back the time that you lost.
So if it should stall here at that as a second touch before max profit, when you where would you add? If it came back a little bit, would you add, if it came back to halfway, the 50 of that last move, add then? If it failed to cross, or
So
max profit at the bottom?
I would go back to, I'm watching this intently, right? And it looks like, because of pressure, all that kind of stuff, it looks like it's going to cross and break to the downside. And it looks like it's going to hold this structure, right? Or at least it's going to try and come back into this. Until it does it, though, I'm not making any trading decisions, or I'm not committing to adding more trades to in this area, unless it gives me an M out here, right? Gives me an M, then I'll commit to adding more trades. But right now, I'm good with 1 or 2 trades on. I'm good with staying in early game, adding one or maybe 2 trades here on the pullback, because I believe that it's going to. But if it doesn't and it crosses here, then I have to be able to bring my break even up. But I'm just watching, and I'm not adding anything because it needed to cross here. If it does, then I'm building into, I'm hopefully it'll give me be able to let me build in here, but I would anticipate this to break.
That's what I was asking. Yeah, the build portion of that
Yep.
on a bounce on the first.
If it allows me to,
setup.
right?
Yeah,
But sometimes like if it comes back up and
then that's
turns
out.
this in, and it turns into an M, it may not let you build because it's going to blow right past it.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Ooh.
So again, I only have 2 trades on in this area. By only putting 2 trades on in this area, it tells the market, I'm not really convinced yet of what you're doing. So I think you're going to do this, but I'm all right if you break the top. And now I have to fix my trade, or not fix them, but now I have to add more and bring my break even up and hit and take money here. I want to say fix, but now my money is up here, where my money is down here, and this is 2 money down here if it breaks here. This is 1 money if it comes up and breaks here. And either way, I'm taking money. So I don't get to choose how much money the market gives me. I just make sure that I'm taking it, whatever that gives me. Eagle, I don't know if you're being for real or you're joking. I can't tell. My brain doesn't work. So if you want me to repeat something, please. Okay. Are you joking right now? All right. So again, I don't know if you guys, is it, the question that I want to ask is, A, is this making sense? And B, is this new information, or is this as just repeating existing information that you already knew? Because I
It's
want to
new
make sure.
information for me.
Okay.
I wouldn't have saw this down here as being max profit. I would have taken it there.
Okay. But this is definitely a secure point,
Right.
right? Because if it does cross here, comes into this area, it could go back and secure it, get out, and then get back in. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because again, often right on where it's going, wrong on how it gets there. Right?
Yep.
So I want to make sure that I am providing you guys with new information, not just saying the same old all
Well,
the
I
time,
don't know
right?
about the rest of them, but you're providing it for me.
Okay, good. Because I'm just making it up as I go along anyways. So we gotta play the Brontosaurus pattern. That's what we're playing.
Yeah, this
Whatever
is
the
great. This is great
Go ahead.
information. For a while, I didn't know if you really knew what you were talking about the last several years, but now that you've shared this information, I think you're right on.
I'm not sure how to take that. I love it. I thought you were a sham for the last couple years.
Now
But
that you shared
no.
this market structure and max profit, gosh, I think, yeah, I think you know what you're talking about.
Thanks, Travis. Appreciate it. All right. So I don't and again, guys, I'm struggling with train of thought today. It's just really like escaping me. It's really weird to say this. So I think something I gotta go for a walk, take a nap or something. So I don't want to continue just saying things to say things, to ramble, to bring in information that cause confusion. So I just want to make sure that we're sticking to the points of action points, not action points. See, there I go again. Max profit, reversal points, and apex and apexes. To be able to distinguish between the three of these things is going to help you in your trading. It really will be able to understand where to secure your trades that says, you know what, if you do turn and cross this point, I want to be out because I don't, this is it's going to reverse and turn on me. And if I can make this reversal point still be money for me by securing my trade here, it says that if it comes up here and doesn't cross and we get continuation, this becomes 2 money for me, right? And then it comes up here, does this, this becomes 3 money for me. That would be awesome. But if this doesn't happen, I want to at least take 1 money off the table, get back to 0 and do it again. And then play the iteration game where I got to take 1 money 4 times and then I'm at my goal, right? So, let's look at your comments. Thanks, Eagle. Oh, it's funny. Okay. Again, the market hasn't made a decision. And I think it's kind of funny. I don't know if Mary Lynn is still here, but the same thing happened in our session this morning where the market had not made a decision, but because it was putting pressure down here, the bottom part of the box, she was like, or the top part of the box, one or the other, she was like, well, we should be buying, we should be selling. I'm like, well, hold on. Let's wait for confirmation. I don't remember which one it was buying or selling. But she's like, no, it's gonna do it. I'm like, well, hold on, let's wait for confirmation. And sure enough, it did give us confirmation. I think it was she wanted to be selling because it was at the bottom of the box. And I'm like, well, you only have 2 trades on. You don't need to make a decision, right? You do not need to make a decision because you only have 2 trades on. So let's just wait and see. And sure enough, it went in her favor and it broke out of the box and goal was here for her and she superseded her goal. But she did tell me if it was her own trading, she would have gotten out and flipped into sells because of all the wick pressure and how it was looking like. And so this can be very, very tricky. It can be a very tricky placement, right? When you get into something like this, where you're waiting for confirmation. So my best advice to you would be enough to have the small amount of trades that it doesn't matter if it goes into plan A or plan B, it does not matter. It doesn't matter what direction the market moves. You can take money whatever direction. And so that should calm you down from a psychological analysis of being, well, if it moves against me, I'm wrong. No, you're not wrong. It just moved your goalpost. That's all it did. It just moved the goalpost, right? And that to me is the position that you want to be in when you're trading. Now, if you had 20 trades here, now you can't afford to be wrong. So never put yourself in a situation where you get in too heavy too soon, because then your options have been reduced to you as a trader and you have to have it break in one direction or the other. And that's never a good place to be in as a trader. The best thing that we can do, the best thing that we can do as a trader is leave the amount of options on the table for us to trade, because we never know what the market's going to do, right? So that's the best thing that we can do, right? Well, and that's again, I understand what you're saying, but I want to make sure, Eagle, with you said I'm tired of working out of plan B. My point is, it's not working out of plan B. My point is right here, and I get what you're saying, and so I just want to have a clarifying point. My point is that if you only have 2 trades, you're not working out of plan B. You're just executing plan B, not working out of plan B. So there's a huge difference. If you only have 2 trades here and it does go in against you, so these are sells, well, the likelihood is it's going to probably come up to here. So you sell here, move your break even here, comes back down here, right? Secure where your break even is, or right below it, and get your money at max profit, which is right there. That's how I'm executing. So it's not working out of plan B, it's executing your plan B, right? And again, just going back to plan A gives you 2 money, or else it wouldn't be our plan A. Plan B gives you 1 money and you take it. I think the difficulty, again, probably specifically for you, is that you don't take it, because you look for the 2 money and you don't take it when it's 1 money. But if you did, it would do a lot of great things for you trading, which is it would reduce your risk and your exposure, and you start stacking in, right? Because you get that reset to 0, that clarity of thought. Because I don't care who you are, when we have trades on and we have more than 2, we become emotionally connected to that direction, and we can only start to see how we're going to execute in that direction, and that takes away options off the table. But when you have 0 trades on, you're thinking in both directions. Do I want to buy? Do I want to sell? But as soon as we place a trade on, we're only thinking in one direction. And that's the probably next conversation or next fast track class that we probably should do, is how to think in both directions while you're in a direction, because it's very difficult to do, or how to see all the opportunities the market is giving you, and as opposed to having tunnel vision because of your own personal biases, right? So, I think I'm going to end there because I don't want to jump into anything else. And yeah, Joseph, I like what you're saying about breaking the bias. I don't necessarily think it's a matter of breaking the bias. It's a matter of just seeing what else is out there, right? It's a matter of, this is what my bias is, but what is the market showing? And it's hard to see that. It is hard to see that because right now this box has just changed into a flag. So now my bias might be, even though I have 2 sells on, I might be thinking, well, it's going to pop up, because that's what the market's doing. Even if I had sells on, I can't control that the market is printing a flag, and I put sells on here. So if I think the market is going to pop up and I only have 2 sells on, I'm like, okay, I guess we're executing plan B. I'm okay with that. Right? Instead of saying, well, I better get out and get into buys. No, I'm okay with that. I really am okay with it popping up, putting sells on, because I like the pop up, because what goes up must come down, get out here and make my money. So, but again, I can't control what the market is printing. All I can do is read it. Right?
So I don't know if Referee Pete is here, but one
He's
thing
not.
that's occurring to me is that Plan B is lesser than Plan A, and I think that's part of the psychology that's messing us up.
I agree
And
with
so
that.
an analogy that came to mind is any any basketball team is going to do this. So I'm using basketball for referee Pete, but at Duke we have the blue and white scrimmage, and so that means that half the basketball team is in white and the other half of the basketball team is in blue, and they scrimmage each other. So you don't care if the blue team wins or the white team wins because it's all Duke and they're, so I almost feel like, we should have plan blue and plan white, and plan blue isn't better or worse than plan white.
I see what you did there. We have plan blue, plan white, and we have the devil plan. This is our C.
Or okay, or we could have plan red and plan blue, or plan blue and plan yellow. Yes, we could have orange and teal, Eagle.
So using your same analogy though, what if using the same analogy, and this is not a joke, it's where you have the blue and white scrimmage at Duke, and as a fan of Duke, you care less who wins that scrimmage. But what if you had a son on the team? Would you care more?
Sure.
So that's using that same analogy. When we have trades on, we become emotionally attached to that direction and we root for that direction. And by rooting for that direction, it increases our bias, which therefore puts more psychological pressure on us as traders. And so somehow we need to disconnect ourselves from those trades and feel like whether you do good, go in my favor, or do bad, go against me, I'm still going to take advantage of the situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think Travis's point is a good one.
Well, no, it's easy. You just root for your favorite.
Well, Travis, there we go.
I'm just kidding. Which one do you love more?
Because every good parent has a favorite child, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Which child is your favorite?
The one I don't have.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll let you know. That's what I always tell them. I'll let you know when I have them. Anyways, but great analogy and bringing that to the table. I appreciate that. Right.
Sure.
All right. Any other last comments or questions or thoughts before we wrap up? Again, I think we kind of did a little bit of a deep dive and on it, and I don't want to go off on any other tangents because I don't want to diminish the value of the conversation, right? So, but does anybody have any questions or thoughts towards what we're talking about?
Save this for a
save
level
it.
3.
It always is saved, so you know that, right? But when we memorialize it, we kick them to YouTube so you can find them easier.
Yeah,
right?
memorialize it.
So, but it is always there. You guys can always go back and watch previous fast track recordings from the calendar. So if you like one, you can save it to your own YouTube history or whatever. But yeah, I'll tell my son to pull this one out too. So
yeah, just
all
a
right, guys.
comment of gratitude. Just a comment of gratitude. Very, very thank you very much, because the lesson of psychology that I've received from this was very helpful. Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. So my biggest takeaway is that Travis no longer thinks I'm a snake oil salesman.
that came out wrong.
I'm not a charlatan.
that came out wrong. That was
yeah. Let me rewind that.
If your son could bleep that out on
yeah. There's a certain part in there that we want to edit. Only take the good stuff. All right, guys. I appreciate it. We will see you guys tomorrow for some hot seat. Actually, if I can, I might jump on tonight and do an overnight setup because I like to do that on Thursdays. So I will try to do that tonight. So thanks, guys, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.